Hello, good evening Cinema Satsang viewers. Today we are going to talk about Cargo, a new film streaming on Netflix directed by Arati Kadav. Well, cargo is firstly not any kind of goods or something. These are human beings. Yes, human beings after they die are sent as cargo to spaceships managed by demons who help us in transition from one life to the next. Well, the narrative goes that these spaceships, there are a number of spaceships, and one very important and famous spaceship is run by Vikrant Massey. Yes, and he's a demon as part of a treaty between humans and demons, and they will help us in transition from one life to the next. So this spaceship is managed by Vikrant Massey meticulously, and he's been there since almost 7 decades, but he doesn't age. So he manages everything very precisely and almost like a robot, like a machine, and he is almost a workaholic. His only pastimes and interests include playing with a ping pong ball with a table tennis racket and making sketches and writing letters to his ex-girlfriend, which he never manages to send. Things get interesting when he is joined by an assistant, Shweta Tripathi of Masan fame. So this guy has never come into human contact since many years, let alone a female contact. So he's joined by Shweta, and things become interesting when she tries to teach him and tell him the new methodologies which are there in the notebook work training program and which will help humans make a better transition. For example, she tells one human being that this machine will be used to wipe out your memories. So he suddenly gets up, that human being suddenly gets up from there, and he tries to make a final deal. Still he tries to make a final deal, human beings. So he gets mad. He says, this is not demo. This is not a demo class. This is field work. So anyways, all kinds of human beings come here of different shapes and sizes, and due to various reasons, somebody is going up in a lift, the next he finds himself tada at the spaceship as cargo for a transition. So magicians come over there, Mr. Sarkar comes with his pigeon, then there is a whole lot of passengers in a bus, and they all come together and they have to queue up. So it's very interesting, and one person is trying to fix his electric start his light, and he puts it in and tada, and the light comes on. So all these people come, and one person even wields his knife, and one person comes there, and one bridegroom who dies in a bus accident, and he tells Shweta Tripathi that I just want to make one call. I'll call my wife, I'll tell her to remarry, her whole life will be saved. So this is against the rules, by the way, and Vikrant Massey doesn't know that, and she tells him, okay, go ahead, but SMS, don't call. And then he comes back and he tells her, I told her that if you get remarried, I'm going to haunt your husband. She said, but and yeah, I died, and she'll get remarried and enjoy herself. So human beings practice treachery in the space also. So anyways, all these things happen, and slowly all of this gets to Shweta, the assistant astronaut, and she starts losing her healing powers. She has special healing powers. She can heal people. She can, one of the things which these demons do, which helps us, the human beings in transition, is to heal people physically at least. Heal them and wipe out their memories. So she starts losing her healing powers, and then talks are going on for her to be sent back to Earth. And slowly Vikrant Massey has become attached to her now, and he doesn't want her to go back. What's going to happen next? You have to see the film to know what's going to happen next. In one of the scenes, there's a Shweta, while they are having dinner, and Shweta has done a good job that day. So Vikrant Massey spots Shweta wearing a watch of a cargo, and he says, "What is this? What are you doing?" And she tells him, "It happens in all the spaceships. There is even the people even make videos and vlogs of find of the day." He says, "So तुम अमीर लोग आएंगे तो उसको तुम अच्छे से ट्रीट करोगे थोड़े दिन बाद, और कोई गरीब आदमी आएगा तो तुम उसको अच्छे से ट्रीट नहीं करोगे। ये सब फेंक देने का है, ये जितना भी पोजेशंस है ये सब चले जाना चाहिए ग्रेविटी में." Well, this is Arati Kadav's first feature film, and she has done remarkably well for her first feature. It has been written and directed by Arati. I remember a couple of projects, student projects by Arati, and those were quite interesting, and she was a diligent student as well. I particularly liked one scene in the film, one cut, where Vikrant Massey is talking to his ex-girlfriend, played by Konkona Sen Sharma, and there is an axis jump, which means that if you see a character on the left side of the screen and suddenly then you see him or her on the right side, so there is a slight disorientation. So I really like that scene and shot and cut. So all in all, a very well designed spaceship. I don't think this is a very big budget film. It's not a big budget film, but in the constraints, in the budget which they had, the production designer has done a decent job. The sets are good with cool designs, innovative designs. The columns, I like the passage of transition where the cargoes move from one world to the to the next life. That place with columns and all is quite interesting. And the producer, one of the producers is Anurag Kashyap. Whether you like him, love him, hate him, but I think he puts his money in the right places. And there is, of course, Vikramaditya Motwane, and there is Zain Machiswala, and Zain was also Arati's batchmate, and I think both are partner in crime in this venture. The cinematography of the film goes hand in hand with the production design. The cinematographer and the production designer have collaborated well, I think, on this project. And the cinematographer has tried to take depth of field shots where the sets are seen, whatever limited space they had, whatever limited area they were working in. But the cameraman tried to, get the backgrounds, the columns in the transition area, and interesting set designs he has tried to capture in the background. So he has tried depth of field photography, and the lighting is also quite interesting. For example, where Vikrant Massey's bed is laid, where he is sleeping, a nice interesting light falls on him. So minimalistic work, but good work. The same cannot be said of the background score. I think the background score could have been a bit better. The purpose of any background score in a film is to conjure up emotions. Take it a notch higher. Whatever is happening visually or emotionally, take it a notch higher. But in that department, I found the score a bit lacking. Well, of course, it's not a 2001 A Space Odyssey. This department could have functioned in a more better manner. But there is one song in the film, Forget Me Not. That's kind of reminds you of old pop numbers. It reminds you of Nazia Hassan. Not exactly Nazia Hassan, but that was quite peppy and catchy. And Shweta Tripathi's rendition while eating apple and healing the apple and so Forget Me Not. I think it's Megha Ramaswamy, the singer, and it's composed by Sagar Desai. There's another department which I want to talk about is makeup. I think the wig, Shweta Tripathi is wearing a wig, and that was quite interesting. The look was quite interesting. Well, the performances, the Vikrant Massey is there, and currently he is one of my favorite actors. He is very stylish. He's a stylish actor, very subtly stylish. You won't see his style, but be it Mirzapur, Chapak. So this guy has got some panache. He's a very good actor, Vikrant Massey. And Shweta Tripathi also has done a fab job. She was there in Masan, of course. There is Konkona Sen Sharma in a special appearance, and where Vikrant Massey talks to her. That's an interstellar moment, a Paris, Texas moment, where you meet your ex after many, many years, but online. But Paris, Texas, of course, had a phone booth, and he could see her, but Natasha Kinski could not see him. But she knew that he's there, her ex-husband is there. So digressing a bit, of course these are Wim Wenders. So yeah, this moment was not that great with Konkona, that this but what do you expect? This is Arati's first film. Those are Wim Wenders and Christopher Nolan. But of course, overall Arati has done a great job. And I also saw some of my ex-colleagues in the film, Mr. Anjum Rajabali, my senior colleagues, Mr. Anjum Rajabali, Mr. Somnath Sen, and they are not full-time actors, but Mr. Somnath Sen also has done a decent job as a demon boss. And of course, Anjum Rajabali is good. He plays a guy who, when towards the end he comes in the film, in the climax, and he says, I'm going to go back and do the same thing. Shweta asks him, do you really? You wanted to go and do the same thing? He says, yeah, I want to do the same thing. Well, this film has a philosophical bent. It's in the garb of a sci-fi, but definitely this film is certainly philosophical on some levels. One character comes and says he has been stabbed by his brother in the back. And he says, क्या मेरा भाई भी इधर आएगा? तो अगर वो भी इधर आएगा और मैं भी इधर आया हूँ, मैंने जिंदगी भर अच्छे काम किए, तो क्या फायदा? अगर वो भी इधर आएगा, मैं भी इधर आएगा, कोई heaven नहीं है, कोई hell नहीं है. Not literally, of course. So even Shweta's character in the film ये सवाल पूछती है कि अगर सारा कुछ मेमोरीज वाइप आउट हो जाता है, हर एक इंसान की एक स्टोरी होती है, जैसे मैं अपना बना रही हूँ लॉग्स, मेरी एक स्टोरी है, हर इंसान की एक स्टोरी है, अगर वो पूरी तरह वाइप आउट हो जाती है तो व्हाट्स द पॉइंट? एंड प्लीज राइट टू अस इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. वी वुड लव टू हियर फ्रॉम यू व्हाट्स द पॉइंट. Also, I loved one dialogue of the film wherein one character asks the other, इतने साल तुम यहाँ रहे और तुम्हारे पास कुछ सामान नहीं है. I love this line. Two things which I missed. One, nobody protested against death. Everybody accepted death, most of them very graciously. And what about emotional healing? There was no talk of emotional healing in the film. There was physical healing, but what about the emotional healing? Well, to conclude, this is an interesting film, a very good film to watch post-COVID. It's about death, it's about transitions, but what is interesting is it's told in a very fun, casual and relaxed manner, as if you're going to have coffee in a coffee shop. Well, of course that is not possible these days, but it's just like that. It's very casual, the other world is next door kind of a thing. So it's fresh, it's innovative, well crafted. Do watch it. It's a Cinema Satsang recommendation.